Hi, Finley. Hi, E-Hill. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Dylan. Hi, Mary. Hi, Kelsey. Hi, Ellie. I'm good, E-Hill. How are you? So, you guys, this is a Q&A, so if you have a question, you just put it in the Q&A thing, and I will answer it to the best of my ability as long as it is respectful, and, you know, as long as I'm okay with answering it, I guess. It's alright. I've been inside most of the day. I honestly haven't, you know, been outside too much to really see what it's like, but I will soon. Our car, the alternator went, so we're waiting on a call to say that it's all done. Thank you, E-Hill. We're going shopping too, Amber. I love Hannaford's. I wish it wasn't so expensive because I love it. Their produce is very good. Eli and I have known each other probably about 4 or 5 years. Hi, Kristen. Oh, yeah, we're okay. We're just waiting for a call to, you know, to go get the car. Hi, Simber. I agree. They do have the best produce. Hi, Brianna. Hi, Kira. Thank you, Show Me. Hi, Wish. So I'm post-banned on this account until God knows when because it's past my post restriction and I still can't post. So yeah, that's why I have, like, you can follow all of my other pages. The first 2 are very active, and then, you know, my YouTube is there as well. Thank you, Andrea. New Hampshire. I'm from New Hampshire. Hi, Joey. Hi, Jackson. Hi, Addie. Hi, Kelsey. Hi, Turquoise. Hi, Lita. Hi, Carpenter. Hi, Katie. Hi, Freedom. My main account is actually EastCoastMick with nothing at the end. Hi, Aaron. White Vans, oh my god. Hi, Hams. Thank you, Joey. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Lex. Thank you, Andrea. Hi, Presley. That's awesome. I've heard of Fall River a lot, but I've never been there. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Madison. Thank you, Mama. Hi, Bono. Hi, Molly. How are you? Hi, HK. Hi, Brad. Hi, Counter. Kentucky. Thank you, Sarah. Hi, Mandy. Thank you, Metal. Thank you, Amber. I'm not sure, but her mom was 180 pounds, so that's wild. Hi, Crystal. At least that's what they told us. I don't really know. Like, I never met the mom. Thank you, Giovanna. Thank you so much. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Kelsey again. Thank you, Panda. Hi, Edwards. I'm pretty good. Thank you, Panda. Hi, Alicia. My day is good so far. How is your day? She's doing well. She is wild. Hi, Alexandra. Hi, Zoe. Thank you, Jaina. I'm pretty good, Taria. How are you? And thank you, Nikki. Oops. No, I did a feeding update. It was yesterday, I think I did it. I'm glad to hear that, Taria. Happy early birthday to your son, Caitlin. Hi, Penguin. He's in the other room with Eli. This is for a Q&A, so I usually don't have him around for those in case questions get, like, I don't know, too inappropriate. Thank you, Jesse. Hi, Specs. Hi, Helen. Hi, Maine. Thank you. Hi, Brandy. Thank you, Stefan. I'm not sure what we're having for dinner. Hopefully something easy. Hi, Kay. My plans are we got to pick up the car and then we got to do some errands. Thank you, Panda. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Becky. I've never been to the UK. He does. He gets up. He usually goes on his laptop. He has the exact same thing for breakfast. He always has a Pop-Tart and then some juice. And then he kind of just hangs out until we have errands or appointments or homeschool. But he eats the same thing for breakfast every morning, and he has the same routine. Like he wants to go on his computer. He kind of hides out in his room a little bit. I would love to visit like anywhere, including the UK. Well, within reason. Like I would love to be able to have as little anxiety as possible to leave the country, but my anxiety is so bad, I don't know if I ever could. Pittsburgh. Thank you, Taco. Thank you, Brittany. Hi, Evil. Hi, Katie. Newfoundland. Wow, that's so cool. Hi, Kay Polly. Hi, Curly. How are you? Hi, Christina. Hi, Brittany. Wilkes Bar. Wow. Hi, Trish. All right, you guys. So this is like a live Q&A because I get questions like all the time on my videos. But for one, I don't get all the comments because TikTok does not show you all your comments when you hit comments in the notification section. But also, just because there's so many, it's hard to go through them. So if you have questions here, I try to get to all the questions, like within, the live, but sometimes I'm not able to, so I do like screenshot them so that I can get to them later if I think like it's an important question. And I do use this footage on my page as like as like video content. So if you don't feel comfortable like asking a question, you don't want it to be public, do not ask it, because I do like usually post my responses and stuff, and I usually tag the people who ask just to be like considerate for participating and everything. So yeah, that's my 411. I did a video on it. No, I live in, well, I mean, depends on where you live. I live in the United States. Thank you, Courtney. Whoops. I meant to say thank you when I clicked it. My bad. Baltimore, Utah, New Jersey. You have a great day too, Tiffany. Hi, Bubba. I'm good. How are you? Hi, Siren. Hi, Christian. Thank you, Miran. All right, so this question is, do I regret any of my tattoos? In short, no. I did, first of all, I did pretty much all my tattoos myself. I do not recommend it. Am I going to stop? No. But I obviously don't recommend it because it's more dangerous. They don't come out as good because mine look like scratcher tats because they basically are. But yeah, I did all my tattoos myself. Like, I went out, I have a tattoo gun, a tattoo pen, and the reason I first did it was just to pass more in public, and not even pass, but just be left alone. Because honestly, like, I've had my king tattoo and most of my arm tattoos since I was a girl. But I looked like I do now. So I just wanted to be left alone, blend in. And the thing is, it worked. Like, now when I go out in public, even if people think that I'm a masculine lesbian, they still leave me the hell alone. I feel like my tattoos did what I wanted them to do. And also, I do think it's therapeutic, like when I'm having a bad day. I like tattooing myself, and I would never be professional because I suck at it. I can't draw. I just can't. But somehow, I feel like my tattoos work for me. But there is one thing. So my dad and I's lucky number is 619. And I was like, I wanted to get a tattoo to signify that, but I didn't want to write 619 on me. So I was like, oh, well, I'll do it with the corresponding letters of the alphabet, which are F-A-I. So I did that, but I did it in cursive, and now it looks like I just have fat written on my wrist, which I am. But it's so funny, I feel. I haven't covered it because I think it's so funny. Like, I don't know, it's a good story, so I guess I'll leave it. Hey, Grace, the reason I changed my username is because in case I want to do merch or anything, I want to make sure that I can't get sued or anything because Uncle Festa is an actual character. But I do still have an account under Uncle Festa just in case I ever decide to go back and maybe not pursue merch and stuff like that. But just to be safe, I needed an alias that was like, you know, established and not used by someone else. Choo-choo. Roman, this is for Mirren, or wait, is it Miranda? Miranda. Roman in the carbonated drinks, thickened. Honestly, he hasn't been doing that well with them. He does not like them. So really, he hasn't been drinking a lot of ginger ale anymore. He just did not like it thickened. Hopefully one day he can get to a point, thank you, Tommy, where he doesn't need the thickener in the carbonated drinks anymore. But as of now, he's really just drinking watered down juice. That's pretty much it. Whoops. Sorry, this thing shakes sometimes. Okay, so this is about why does my son need thickener in his drinks. My son has something called dysphagia. Dysphagia, well, for my son, means that he has trouble swallowing. And unfortunately, this can lead to choking and aspiration, which can lead to dangerous situations like pneumonia, which for him it has twice. Well, I would say once, because once we know is from, you know, aspiration. The first one, it could have been from either aspiration or because he had been sick beforehand. But even with kids with dysphagia, if they do like get like, you know, a common cold or, you know, the flu or something, their risk for pneumonia is often higher because they have that like, you know, risk for aspirating. There were times where he actually aspirated like, it sounds crazy, but his own spit. It's possible, and it's crazy that it can happen, but it does. It's scary too. So basically with my son, they don't have like a direct answer like as to why it happens. He's had biopsies, he's had swallow studies, but what I've been told is that his jaw muscles, because he has hypotonia, are kind of like low tone. Hypotonia means low tone. So he has like low tone in his jaw, also in his core muscles, but in his jaw as well, and that affects his swallowing also. Oh my god. Thank you, Tommy. Also, partially, it's a sensory thing. You know, sometimes when kids, you know, or I'm assuming anyone, you know, has autism, sometimes, like, sensory things can impact swallowing as well, because it's like, you know, it can be harder to gauge, like, you know, how to maneuver things in your mouth, and like how your body has a little bit of a harder time like learning how to engage in a process that for us is like innate, like swallowing and stuff, because without that stimulation being there or like being very present, it can be hard for them and they can end up choking, and that's kind of what I've gotten so far, but it's been years, so yeah, hopefully one day he'll be able to be off thickener, but as of now, he needs it in all drinks, even carbonated. All right. I love asparagus and bacon. It's awesome. Okay, so this question is, how many words was Roman able to say at 2 years old? From what I remember, nothing. My son didn't really start talking at all until 5, but it wasn't... I mean, maybe before that he might once in a great while say like one word like mama or something. But it was just very, very rare. When he was 5, he might say like a word here and there. Like he might say like a word. Honestly, I would say the average was he might say like 2 to 3 words a week, and maybe like once in a while a phrase would come out, and I'd be like flabbergasted that he just said a phrase. One thing is, a lot of people presume that people in general that are nonverbal or partially verbal, or I'll say nonverbal, can't speak at all, and that's not always the case. My son, once in a great while, he would come out with a sentence, and I'd be like, where the hell did that come from? And I've heard a lot of that from other parents of kids with autism, that like, you know, like one woman told me that her nonverbal son, at 5 years old, well, she was cooking like dinner in the kitchen, and he came up to her, 5 years old, nonverbal, and he says, dinner smells disgusting. So like, nonverbal doesn't mean necessarily that you can't talk at all. But at 2, I don't remember there being any speech at all. And it really didn't even take off until 6 years old. That's when he started forming sentences like on the regular and like, really fluently communicating. To me, it's fluently anyways. I know to other people he's still only partially verbal. But he can still, like, I feel like now, even if he's a little bit behind in that area, he can still, like, hold the conversation if you really try. He just might need a little bit more motivation. But at 2, it was almost nothing. Okay, so this question is, when did Roman start laughing? I'm trying to remember. I really feel that him laughing was very delayed. I do remember thinking he was a very serious baby, like, because I always worried that he would struggle with sense of humor, and I know that seems minuscule, like such a small worry to other people, but humor is very important to me, and not that, of course, I wouldn't find other ways to connect with my child if he didn't have a similar sense of humor, but I did worry about, like, will this affect my ability to relate to him, like, if he just doesn't, have the same sense of humor, or, I didn't know if maybe he'd struggle with it as a whole. But he's, obviously, you see, he's absolutely hilarious, so he doesn't struggle with it, but I do remember he was very serious for a long time, definitely past 9 months. I would say, I'm just guessing, because this was a long time ago. This was, like, over 8 years ago, so I am just guessing. I would say he really started to laugh and stuff at maybe a year and a half, 2 years. But it was rare. I remember being excited when he would laugh, and he wouldn't always laugh at things you would think he would laugh at. Like, it would just be random sometimes. But he definitely was not as animated as my friends' kids, because I had friends that, had babies at the same time, and their children, I remember being around them and being like, wow, because, Roman's my normal, and, like, I didn't realize he was that, like, non-animated until I saw other kids his age or other toddlers. But yeah, so it's that was actually a worry of mine as well. But rest assured that even if your child is, or really 9 months is very little, so even if your baby isn't showing signs of like laughing and stuff like that, even if they are autistic, they could still have just an A+ sense of humor, because my kid is hilarious. Thank you, Abby. It's good to see you. Okay, so this question is, did Roman cry a lot as a child? Or he is a child, but we'll say a baby. Okay, so yes. Yeah, he did. I remember in particular, there was one time he cried so much that I remember, like, I had to ask my mom for help, because it was just horrible. Like, it was just crying 24/7, and my mom is like a very tolerant person, especially with babies, because she loves babies, and it was too much even for her. It was so rough. I and also, like, even though I know all babies obviously don't sleep through the night, my son has always had severe difficulty sleeping. He still does. I know this sounds terrible. I've quit smoking for a long time, but at that time I actually began smoking, because just being able to, like, put him in his crib where I could see him, or like a little bouncer or something, and being able to just step outside and feel the cold air and the silence. I could still see him, but I was just, like, able to just, like, I needed that, and that's how I picked up smoking. So yeah, it was very, very hard. To be honest, there are still some days now. I mean, he's 8, and there's still some days where it's like whining and whining and whining. And it's hard. And me and my husband have to remind each other that it's okay. If you need a break, you can step out. Taking care of the animals outside helps with that, because it's like a reprieve of not listening to it. But there's still some days that are really hard, where it's just like whining and whining and whining. And no matter how tolerant or patient someone is, that is very hard to listen to. It is very frustrating, and it is draining. So if anyone is going through that, you are not alone. Like, we still deal with that. And I did deal with that when he was a baby, and it's very hard. My advice is that you need to let yourself know know that you are always deserving of a break. I don't care who shames you. I don't care who calls you a bad parent. I don't give a shit. You need to be able to remove yourself from the situation, because if you don't, that's how dangerous situations happen. So that's just my 2 cents. Thank you, Brittany. All right. Doo-doo. All right, so this question is, did Roman whine or throw tantrums a lot at 1 or 2? To be honest, I don't, let me think. I'm trying to remember. I would say more closer to like 2. He did have a harder time then, especially like I would say ages from 2 to 4. Yeah, 2 to 4 is when there was a real struggle. It continued to 5, but it wasn't as bad. My son struggled a lot, and I think it was because, kids are like, well, babies really are always developing like language skills usually and stuff. And since my son didn't have the ability to develop that at that age, I think that was very frustrating to him. We went through a lot of phases of aggressive behavior, with like he would throw electronics a lot, break them, he would bang his head sometimes, he would hit himself, very destructive behaviors, and I really think a lot of it had to do with the inability to communicate, like, in a way that could communicate his needs and his frustrations. Like, even not being able to just like yell like, I'm so fucking pissed, like that must be hard, and it must feel like just enraging to have that bottled up. So I kind of get it. He was in ABA at that time, and I do feel that that contributed to the behaviors getting worse, because he felt like he had such a lack of control even in his daily therapies. Now that he has been removed from that and he's been put into like therapy, like, with an actual psychologist, we still have services such as OT, PT, speech, feeding, but he's with like a therapist actually working on those emotions and where they're coming from. And since he's been able to do that, he's improved like drastically. So I feel like, what they show at 1 or 2 years old, I just know that it will likely get better. And I know there's parents out there that are like, no, it's not going to always get better. You don't know it's not going to get better. And that's true, that I don't know the level of difficulty that people are going to deal with. But I know that when you have like a child who's autistic, you do have the ability to seek out like a really stable support system. Even, I'm not a huge fan of ABA. I don't like it. But no matter what, people typically do develop a support system that can guide them through everything. And I just feel like, once children get the tools to communicate, like even if they can't verbalize it, like my son, he started with a communication device. It wasn't great for him, but he started there. And just those tools to just like communicate a little bit better, I feel like will really help, like, the aggressive behavior. At least in my opinion, they did. So do. My pronouns are he, him. Thank you for asking. Thank you, Courtney. My husband and I have been together for maybe I think, like, we've been married. Oh my God. How did I lose track of time? It's not even been that long. Okay, so we've known each other for 5 years. We've been together maybe like 3 years, I think, and married only like not even 2 years. I love Hampton Beach. Applied behavior analysis. Yes, my family does love vacations. We love going to Vermont and upstate New York. Those are my favorite trips to take. I love going to Vermont because I usually get to just like lay around and do nothing, and my mother-in-law cooks me Colombian food. Okay, so this question is, has Roman ever had sleepovers? No. and I'm not going to allow it. And I know that that's kind of a controversial topic. I've actually seen another parent get like eaten alive over it. So there's a couple reasons for this. So first of all, he hasn't had them because right now he's homeschooled, but he actually makes friends very well. He has been in public schools, more than one. He's been to, I think, 3 public schools now. It's just how the district has worked. It's not like we jump from school to school. But he's always made friends effortlessly. He does very well socially. I will not allow sleepovers. Nope. Okay, and I know I'm probably a little paranoid, but my son, he has a tendency to elope. That means he has a tendency to run away. A lot of kids with autism, deal with it, and, or maybe I shouldn't say a lot, but I've heard of it happening a lot, and it's so scary and happens so fast that one time, my son was outside with both my husband and I, and within, I don't even think it was a minute. I don't even think it was a minute. He darted off, and he went so fast, he ended up on the highway. So fast. I calculated how fast he went one time. It was insane. It is very terrifying. And I don't trust other people to provide him with the level of safety that is needed. Since that, incident, our house is like Fort Knox, and he has a device on him that I can track at all times. I don't really trust that others, and I'm sure, because the parents of his friends are, amazing, but it's something that I am very nervous about, and I only trust, myself with it. Even my husband I get nervous with. So then also, another reason is my son, he is limited when it comes to communication. This is actually why I would never allow my child to go to any type of Sunday school or anything like that. I've talked about, I was raised Catholic and stuff, and even with that, I would never allow my child to be in any setting where he was left alone with adults and I was not, present, because he is not able to effectively communicate with me, and I just think it is very dangerous. So yeah, and I would not allow sleepovers at my house, because I live in a rural area, and obviously I'm very out as a trans man. My community is pretty accepting of me, however, I'm not going to risk people starting some type of drama over my husband and I being a gay trans couple and having a kid sleepover, because I just think that's a recipe for disaster for somebody who is just wanting to cause some bigoted drama. I would just rather not even risk it. Doo-doo. Okay, so this question is, does Roman get frustrated easily? Absolutely. Yes. I don't even really know if I'd say that is directly related to his autism. I have a temper. His dad had a horrible temper. And so I think that it's something he's just going to have to learn, even if he wasn't autistic, I think it's just something he would have to, really work on and find the proper tools and resources to effectively deal with it. That's why, one of the reasons why we have him in therapy. But yes, that is something that we do deal with. I empathize with him in those situations because thank you, Zena, and thank you, Zena. But I empathize with him in those situations, simply because I was the same way as a child. I had such intense anger issues. And I remember from being a kid that all that could really be done is that, that your parents show that they're there, they're present, just to be understanding, patient, and to, give them access to the proper tools. I was given access to the proper tools, and now I feel like I'm a very well-rounded adult. So I'm just offering him the same and hoping that he'll end up the same, and I know he will because he has a good head on his shoulders. Thank you, Zena. Okay. Sorry, the phone shakes a little bit. So this question is, what does Roman like to talk about? Okay, well, this changes often. Well, maybe not that often. So right now, his thing is Christmas. He does this a lot. He will decide it is a holiday. Sometimes it's Halloween. But now it is Christmas. I believe it was Halloween for him during Christmas because we watched Addams Family continuously. He was obsessed with Addams Family during Christmas. Now it is, he's decided it's Christmas. And I love it because I'm one of those like obnoxious holiday people. Like I love holidays, but yeah, so he is talking about Christmas a lot, wishing people a Happy New Year, a Merry Christmas. Like I think it was on my live, he said Merry Christmas. And other than that, he loves math equations. So you might just be sitting there and he's like, hey, what's 362 plus 146? And like, I don't know. I have to be like, I don't know. And sometimes he gets frustrated. I don't know. But that's another thing he talks about. And a lot of stuff he is interested in, like, I just, honestly, I learned from his YouTube videos and the stuff he uploads, like, you know, obviously I knew he's into number blocks, but, like, he'll be into, like, specific numbers. Like, I think recently it was number 2. Thank you, Half. And, like, you know, oh, he's into Squid Games, I found out. Oh my god. That's another thing. I gotta be careful of, like, of the stuff he's into, because sometimes he's into stuff where I'm like, no, you are not, just, no, not appropriate. Alright, so this question is, how do I discipline? And I'm gonna be real. I don't do much disciplining. And yeah, a lot of people don't like that. However, my son in the real world, like, a lot of people are like, you're preparing your son for failure. But actually I'm not. Like, my son is very well integrated into the real world. Like, he has friends, like, he's been to public school. I don't get phone calls saying that he's acting like, you know, insane at school or anything, you know what I mean? Like, I really focus on teaching him boundaries and stuff, and, I think that's really a key part. Like, you know, the behavior he shows at home is not always, appropriate in all situations, but I feel like a home should be a safe place. You know, like, you're gonna get angry sometimes, you're gonna whine sometimes, you're gonna, I don't know, and I just feel like it should be a place where, not necessarily that stuff like that is praised, like, I don't praise it, but I don't want to discipline him for it. I do, like, I wouldn't really refer to this as, like, disciplining, but, like, say, he is mad at a electronic or something, and he, like, throws it or does something like that. Obviously, he would get it taken away, for a certain, period of time, or, you know, like, we might do things like that. But to be honest, I really am careful of that, too, because, like, my son, for instance, his laptop, he loves to code. I know from when I was a kid how important, like, I've been making content and stuff since I was, like, I mean, not his age, because the internet wasn't as big back then, but, since I was not that much, you know, older than him, and I know how important that is, like, when it comes to, like, just having a safe zone and kind of escaping reality. So, you know, I am not, I do feel some type of way about removing electronics for an extended period, because I feel like he should always have access to that creative outlet as long as it is safe. So yeah, I really just focus on setting boundaries. Like, obviously, if he is disrespectful, he needs to learn, like, why that's not okay, and, like, you know, he needs to learn to come over and, you know, give an adequate apology, and, you know, we talk about why it was wrong. And to be honest, I feel like that is way more effective than, like, you know, really strict disciplining. Like, I feel like if you're teaching a kid, like, you know, why something is wrong and how they can approach it differently, even if people view me as spoiling my kid, I really feel like he's learning more than if I was like, go in your room for like an hour, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. But that's not to say we're perfect. Like, I definitely get frustrated. I yell. My husband yells. Like, but we just try to be understanding, and I try to level with him, because even though he's a kid, he has his own emotions. He has his own, like, you know, boundaries, and he has his own, like, you know, his view of the world is not identical to mine, and I respect that. And, I don't know. I think kids sometimes aren't given enough credit, I guess. They understand more than we think. do. Yes, all my chickens have names. Oh my god, I don't even know if I can think of all their names, though. Our favorite thing to do as a family, I think, will be going to the beach. To be honest, now I'm scared to take Roman to the beach, now that he's bigger, because, like, I feel like he could get away, and I really worry about that. But we love the beach. Like, Roman loves the beach, my husband loves it, I love it, so that's probably our favorite one. Yes, Toothless. Ruthless Toothless, they call him. Yes. Oh, thank you, username. So we have, let me think if I can name all of them. Okay. Uh, Toothless, Marshmallow, Patty, Spaz, Morty, Sanchez, Chameleon, Gandalf, Regina George, Francis, Cat Stevens, Tilly the Kid, Tilly the Kid. Well, there's, oh, and Belushi is one. I have more than that. It says King on it. I got it a long time ago. Yeah, Regina George, because she's so mean. Okay, so this question is, does Roman wear a leash? And, no, mostly because, you know, he's 8 years old, so he's really big now. But his dad actually used to, put him on a leash when they would go camping and stuff like that. And, listen, here's the thing. Everybody out there who says, like, you know, oh my God, I can't believe you put your kids on leashes. They're the same people that will judge people and say, oh my God, if you were paying attention, your kid wouldn't get away. Why didn't you make sure he didn't get away? You know what I mean? So it's like you can never win. And when it comes to my son's safety, anything goes. He needs to be safe by any means necessary. So when my, when my son's father would do that, I was very happy with that because I felt like it was a great safety measure. Roman didn't mind it. It was like a little backpack thing. And he was always safe when they went camping. As you know, as far as I know, I mean, he always came back in one piece. So yeah, I am a huge advocate for anything that keeps a child safe, especially with kids that dart, elope, and you know what I mean? Like, it is imperative to make sure they're safe. Like, they are so fast. I can't even explain how fast it happens. So I am a huge advocate, and I just, you know, people are going to talk shit about how you parent regardless, so just parent how you want to parent. As long as it's safe. Hi, Chanel. Thank you for the follow. You guys, I got 9 more minutes. Oh, actually, you know what? I should have added, we used to have the wrist things, now that I think of it. I wasn't thinking of that when I heard leash. Yes, we used to have the wrist things. Unfortunately, Roman is very strong, and he would rip through them, so they didn't work, but we did try that at one point. Oh, with, I don't know, because I haven't tested the theory. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say he hasn't gotten better, because I feel like he would still try. Yeah, that's what he had. But his was like, I want to say it was like a frog or something. Oh no, Arizona, I hope you feel better. Hi, Resting. Thank you, Molly. Hi, Denise. Hi, Squash. Hi, Kaden. Hi, DJ. Hi, Bobby. Hi, AMW. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, sister. Thank you, Lindsay. Oh, hi, Lindsay. Oh, my God. Thank you, Lucy. Hi, Ellie. Oh, I think... Let me click this. Okay, so this question is Roman school supportive of you and your husband? So, my husband, my son is actually homeschooled now. However, he was in public school for a long time, and yes, they were supportive. I would say they were pretty supportive throughout my transition, except for the first school he went to. Now, okay, so when my son was in this one school, and I want to make it clear that, like, most of the teachers there were fantastic. They were just great. However, the principal, or maybe I shouldn't drop names. However, the administration wasn't as kind. So what happened is when I had top surgery, my son did not miss a lot of school at all. That was very important to me, that my son did not miss a lot of school while I had top surgery. So I had my mom take him to school, you know, while I was recovering. I think my son missed 1 or 2 days total, and my recovery was pretty long. So that was pretty good. And I alerted them beforehand, you know what I mean? Like, I was very open about it. And then I received a call that, that he had missed, like, an insane amount of days that he did not miss. And they made a comment that it was pertaining that it was my top surgery, as in like, I understand you need to get this done and all, but your son's education is important, something like that. And I'm like flabbergasted because I'm like, what do you mean? Like, he has not been absent. Like, I made sure of that. So first of all, let's be clear that I think I was the one that called the meeting. So I called the meeting because I was like, this isn't right. Like, something is not right. Oh my God. All of that was because the principal had a different student's attendance sheet in front of her, and she was going by this kid's attendance sheet and saying that my son was it was the total wrong attendance sheet. Like, we held a meeting about it and everything. It was crazy. Like, I went through, my son had not missed like hardly any school at all. So yeah, I would say that was a pretty transphobic event. Even I don't give a shit if it was a mistake or not, to make it seem like because of my surgery, I'm like, keeping my son out of a necessary education. Like, that was nuts. But other than that, everybody else is good. All right, you guys, I got 5 more minutes. Do. Okay, so this question is, how did I introduce teeth brushing to Roman? So Roman is actually really good at brushing his teeth. I do have to go over them sometimes, but he never was very resistant to it, thankfully, except he is resistant to the dentist, which obviously everybody's scared of the dentist. Well, most people. And I just have to share this story because it's so funny. So one time we brought him to the dentist, and he's like, in the dentist chair, and the dentist was trying to like convince him, like, it's not that bad. Like, come on, it's not that bad. It'll be fine. It's not going to be painful. You will be absolutely okay. And Roman goes, okay, you try it. Like, he wanted him to get in there and prove to him it was not that bad. And then, so after, he went through it and everything, and he did a good job. He went the whole time to be like, I think he still did well. Like, I was proud of him because he was so scared, but it was a struggle a little bit, but it was so funny because he jumps out of the seat after all that. And I forgot what holiday it was. I think it was Christmas. He goes, oh no, it was New Year's. I think he goes, have a happy new year, after he just freaked out. He was like, have a happy new year. So, yeah, dentist visits are hard. He has a great dentist, but it's very hard. But brushing his teeth at home has actually been pretty good. I have to go over them, like I said, but other than that, he does a pretty good job. No, I understand. I'm still a little nervous with the dentist, and I have a really good dentist. Squash. Hi, Hunter. Okay, so this question is, how was the introduction between Roman and my husband? So my husband and I actually talked for a very long time and dated for a while before I introduced him to Roman. I was very big on that, but also my husband was very big on that. Like, for one, he didn't want to date anyone with children, because he had like a previous experience, dating someone with a kid, and he was like, I never want to do that again. But you can't help who you fall in love with. So, we were both like very hesitant, kind of. We didn't want to introduce Roman until we knew, like, this is a for sure thing that we're gonna, like, we're willing. Like, he was like, once I meet your kid, like, you need to understand, like, that's it. Like, whatever happens, we need to work on it. And that was, like, a big thing. In the first visit, I remember, he was about to, no, I think, yeah, we had just picked up Roman from his dad's, and he was gonna have to leave back for Vermont. So we were just spending the last time we had together, like, until he had to leave. And we were just in a gas station parking lot in his mom's car. And, I remember Roman, you could tell he was feeling a little awkward until Eli showed him how to attach Bluetooth to the car so that he could listen to YouTube from the car speakers. And then he was like, all awkwardness went, and he was so happy. And then they ended up getting very close, like, pretty quickly. I remember that Roman used to always sing Eli's name, like he would just sing it constantly. And yeah, so they did pretty well. Like they hit it off pretty well. And Eli has always been a great stepfather, a great provider for my son. Like when my son's father relapsed, which this happened pretty quickly after Eli and I started dating, like, in person and stuff. And he got like a really good job, and he ended up like spending thousands for a lawyer to make sure that like my son was safe from everything. He's done a lot, and he also would pay like tons of money to make sure Roman could go to therapy okay, because the insurance wouldn't cover it. He was a very good support for my son, and he still is, obviously. But yeah, that's the 411 on that. I got one more minute. Okay, I'll answer this last. So this question I get a lot. It's how do I talk to Roman about his dad's passing? And to be honest, I'm very blunt about it. So my son's father passed away when my son was about 7. Yeah, I think he was 7. It was just a year and a half ago. And I am very open that he died of an overdose. And I know a lot of people wouldn't like that, especially his family. But I feel that's important to talk about. And the reason I say that is because my father, was an addict alcoholic, and he was always open with me about his struggles, and very, very, uncandid from a very young age. Like, I knew what addiction and alcoholism did at a very young age because my father did not hold back. He did not have a filter with it. And I know a lot of people would frown upon that and say that's not appropriate for a child to hear. But knowing that, that for one, it helped me understand my father's situation, but it also helped me feel less guilty, like it wasn't my fault. I don't ever want my son to feel like his dad left him, or that he should feel any type of guilt. But I also think it's important to bring awareness to addiction, because there are genetic factors. I mean, there are. And the less we're open about it and open about the risks of it, the more likely, like, generation upon generation is going to use. So my son needs to be aware of that. And I let him know that, like, his father loved him very much. It was something that, it's just like having mental illness. It's something that needs to be treated. He didn't get treatment in time, but that does not reflect, how much he cares for him at all. It is hard because he still asks for him. He still once in a great while will say, I want to go see my dad or my dada. And, that's very heartbreaking to not be able to have to be like, no, that's not possible. And I have to be blunt about it. I have to say, you cannot, he's passed on. He is not with us. He's deceased. And I have to say that, or I say died. And the reason I have to be honest is because I sought out the advice of people, who have autism, and I asked them, how do I deal with this? And they said, it's important to always be honest. Just be honest. And that's why I do that. I don't feel that it's always a good idea to be like, oh, he went to heaven and because that's not very direct. Like, for one, I mean, regardless of what you believe in, I believe in an afterlife, I believe in a higher power, but we don't know what's out there. That's not fact. And when somebody is very literal, I think it's important just to go with the facts. And so that's how I explain it. But it's 3:32. I gotta go, you guys. Thank you, Eric. And I thank you so much for joining me for this live. And maybe I'll be live later cooking. I don't know what I'm gonna make for dinner. But thank you so much, you guys. And thank you to my mods.